about that. If there's something you want to say to me off the record, then we can do that. But why don't you just tell me basically what you told me a few minutes ago? You essentially told me that you were thrown out of your home, and it was done by the police in
Yes,
retaliation over some legal matter.
yes. In retaliation of a slumlord who violated a Section 8 voucher through PHA in
Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay. And who is the slumlord? What's that person's name?
Her name is Svetlana. That is spelled Svetlana. And her last name is Filokovich. That's spelled Shilopomich.
Okay. And you were living in Section 8 housing in Philadelphia?
Yes,
Okay. And you're saying that it was related to a legal matter that you were thrown out of your home. What was the legal matter, and how did the police come into play?
yes. What happened was that the slumlord management company called Elaine Lucan, doing business as First Corsa, that's Corsae, filed a complaint in the municipal court, landlord tenant division, um, falsifying her and her attorney, Barton Levy, saying that we paid her rent. We never paid her rent. We was on a full Section 8 voucher from the city of Philadelphia that paid the full amount of rent of $1,220 each and every month from the year since we've been here, 2002.
So hold on, you were
This
paying
was
about
her
12, you were paying
so
$1,200 a month.
I wasn't paying 12. You were never paying 1,200. The voucher, the grant from the state on the Section 8 voucher was paying the $1,200 a month for us.
Okay, so the state was paying a voucher of approximately $1,200 a month for your rent. And why did they throw
Right.
you out if the rent was being paid?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, and they threw you out even though the rent was being paid.
No, let me explain what happened. Under the Section 8 voucher, you have to a landlord has to keep the house into a certain standard of living for the tenants who are on the program. Every year they get inspected for to be able to keep going and get paid by the state on this voucher.
Mm-hmm.
Every year this lady had failed the inspection. But my ex-husband used to sit up there and sign off on it all the time to keep the status quo and let her continue getting paid. But the work was so shoddy in the house, and we wasn't even getting any heat in the house, that I would not sign off on the work,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the state to force her to do the repairs in the work, in the property. Little did we know, as of June 2010, she was kicked off the program for failing the housing inspection. The,
Okay, so the
she had
landlord
kicked
was
off.
kicked off the program for Section 8 because she
Yes,
wasn't keeping the buildings up to code.
yes.
Okay, so let me just quickly move to
So
the
we
how.
as a tenant,
Hold on. Let me just move to the police issue. How did the police become involved,
yes,
and what did they do?
yes. How the police came involved was the fact that the landlord management company went to the municipal court and filed false documents into the court claiming that we paid her rent, that we owed rent for a certain amount of time, and that the house was in good condition and all this other stuff, and it wasn't a Section 8 property. Being as though it was a Section 8 property, she would have never been able to go into the municipal court in the first place. Her and her attorney did not do any proper procedure. So they got a writ for possession and a money judgment for over $5,000. I fought that judgment and fought that writ of possession and got a superseded bond in the Court of Common Pleas of Philadelphia. Okay? Once I did that and we went to court, I proved into the court that we were never liable for the rent, that she knew the property was in disarray, and everything else.
Okay.
At that time, I also got a copy of the lease. They showing the lease was not even signed in her name. That another company that
Okay. Hold,
her
hold on. Hold on.
would have owned on the lease.
Hold on. This is what I want to tell you because I have a limited amount of time. I don't need to get too far into the court case. I just need to know what the outcome was. Did you win the case?
Okay. Yes, I won the case. They
Okay.
threw the case out.
Okay. So wait a minute. So the court ruled in
Um,
your favor.
right. The court ruled in my favor. And and will erase the writ of possession in the municipal court. But the attorneys went back to the municipal court because they know everybody in there and falsified affidavits stating that I was the one who dismissed the appeal and got an alias writ without the judge looking at the court document in the higher court.
Okay, but anyway, so they did a legal maneuver to get the court to enforce this verdict in a different direction. So my question to you is, did the police know anything about this, and what did the police do that you're having a problem with?
Yes. When they kept coming to my house and everything else, I showed them the court of common pleas document. I showed them the superseded bond and everything. And the court officer kept saying, no, she was the one who dismissed the appeal. I said, you see it right here. It says they did it, not me. They're the one who dismissed the appeal. These people do not have a right to be here, nor are they even on the list. Well, they told me, well, you got to get out and go down there and file some other papers in the courtroom, in the lower court. I said, why do I have to when I have the higher court, papers already? So I filed the papers. I took it down to the 14th district, came back into my home, and went back into the house. One time they kept coming like 4 to 6 different times. On September the 1st, I knew that they were coming again. I went down to the Commonwealth Court of Appeals, and while I was going at the courthouse, they came to my house again, and they took and arrested all my children inside that property. They put every one of my kids in handcuffs from down to 20 years old all the way down to 11.
Whoa. Hold on. You're telling me that the police came to your house on an eviction issue and put your children in handcuffs?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And the youngest one was 12 years old?
The youngest was 11.
Wait. I got to get this straight. What need did they have to handcuff an 11-year-old child?
They said because they foreclosed at first because we burglarized our house. That was supposed to be their premises to put all of them in handcuffs.
Wait. They said you burglarized your own home by entering the premises?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And did they arrest him, or they just put him in handcuffs and let him go?
No. My oldest two, they arrested them, and the people on the street was begging for them to let go of the other children. So they kids, even though they're big-sized kids, they're still just kids. But after they witnessed the police punching on my 13-year-old and roughing up my 14-year-old who was autistic and slamming them up against the car. They didn't do anything. They didn't provoke them or anything. So one of the police officers told my 13-year-old that he was going to take off his badge and fight him like he was a person in the street after he punched him in the stomach while he was in handcuffs. The lieutenant told the other officers, which was Lieutenant Capecchi, to call DHS because this bitch will not shut up. Because my daughter was screaming. The lady said she was in shock to see police officers acting and treating her this way.
So let me make sure I have the facts clear. You're telling me that the police came to your home to execute some sort of a court order, a court action regarding your right to stay in the building. We can dispute that later. But the point is, when they arrived, they became abusive, and that they handcuffed your children, and that they punched your 14-year-old in the stomach while he was handcuffed?
Yes. And when my son saw this, especially when he saw that the one cop just drove up and jumped out of her car and kicked and kneed my 18-year-old daughter in the back while she was talking on the phone with me, trying to let me know that they were arresting them. She jumped her in the back and kneed her in the back, almost knocking her to the ground and hit her face and everything else. So he tried to break away from the handcuffs to stop these people from hitting his brothers and sisters. They took in from the witnesses said that they hog-tied her in chains and handcuffs. They handcuffed her in the back and handcuffed her in the feet and everything with no proper cause without her doing anything and everything. So then they said up there, once that happened, my son was like telling the cop that's a pump move, little bitch, and whatever. Then Lieutenant Capecchi ran over he was in handcuffs.
Okay, hold on.
Then he
Let me
ordered
stop for a second. Lieutenant Kopecki,
yes,
he's the one that punched your son in the
yes.
stomach?
No, he was the officer who punched my 20-year-old in the face while he was in handcuffs because he witnessed the abuse that they were doing onto my other kid. There was another cop that took my 13-year-old and my 14-year-old who was autistic that set up there and punched him in the stomach. So there was two different officers two or three different officers who was punching and hitting on my children while they were in handcuffs.
Okay, let me stop you there. What's the name of the police department?
The 14th precinct.
14th precinct in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know the phone number for the police department?
Do I know who?
The telephone number for the police department.
I don't have it, but I can tell you, I don't have that only where I pulled it out real quick because I have so much paper.
Okay, well, I don't need everything now. I'll get it from you later. Here's my point. I'm going to call the police department, and I want to call the 14th precinct and get somebody on the phone and find out exactly what their
Okay.
protocol is for receiving complaints. But I need you to fill out our complaint form on our website immediately so I can address this.
Wonderful. I got so much. I know you don't have a lot of more time, but there's so much that happened to that story because, like I said, my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old was arrested and taken down to the 36th district.
What did they charge them with? What were they charged with?
Burglary.
Burglary? So they charged you with burglary for re-entering your own home.
Yes. They charged my children with burglary at that time. Yes.
And the children that were charged, are how old? What are their ages?
20 and 18.
20 and 18. Okay. All right. This is what I want you to do. Fill out the complaint form. I'm going to follow up with you later today after I get the complaint form from you, and I will call the police department and we will open an investigation. But fill out that form right away so I have the other information I'm going to need.
Yes. Now let me also let you know too that this complaint has also went to the Internal Affairs and the Police Advisory Commission of Philadelphia.
Okay, and when did you submit the complaint to them?
September the 16th was to the Philadelphia Advisory Commission, and there was one done in November. I think December. I'm sorry. It was in December of 2012.
Okay.
The Internal Affairs.
Did you get a response back from them?
I haven't gotten a response back at all from the Internal Affairs, and I keep calling them, and they refuse to answer me.
So hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. This happened last year, and you filed complaints in December and September, and no one has told you an outcome yet?
No.
Okay.
No one has told me an outcome yet, and I am now facing criminal charges myself, fighting in the Philadelphia Municipal Court against burglary charges after I got my children.
And they're charging you with burglary as well.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let me stop it there because I have more to do, and I need your complaint form before I go forward. So fill that out on our website, and I promise you we will assist you.
Wonderful. Can you please tell me how to spell your name one more time?
It's spelled Kamau, spelled Kamau. Mr. Kamau.
Kamau. Wonderful. I just want to let you know, and I know you got to stop, but we're now living in a hotel room, paying $400 a week in New Jersey and everything else, and I have to pay $54 a day to keep coming back and fighting these charges. So I really thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to be in Philadelphia in about an hour or two,
Mm-hmm.
and I will get to the computer and make sure I get this over to you.
Okay, Florence, we are going to help you. Get that form into me, and I will be calling the police department later today to find out why they haven't given you an answer on your investigation.
Wonderful, because that will be with the Internal Affairs, and her name is Captain
One thing I want to tell you, if things happen as you described, I'm going to recommend that you file a federal lawsuit. And even if you don't have money, the federal courts will give you waivers so you don't have to pay the fees, and we can assist you with that. But if your 14-year-old was punched in the stomach, like you said, and the rest of them were arrested for burglary, for entering their own home, I mean, even if the landlord's position were true, this is pretty extreme behavior on the part of the police, and I think it needs to be addressed. So get that complaint form into me, and I will assist you. Okay?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna love me because I already have a federal case in the federal court because I also had a bankruptcy when they arrested me in the court. You will see that there were several lieutenants on this particular situation, and Lieutenant Welly had authorized them to take my stuff so that I would not be able to file any more papers against them. You will see all of that. You will even see me online, but I appreciate you, and I'm going to do exactly what you said, and you're going to see and want to help me to get these criminals because they need to be brought to justice.
Okay. I promise you we will help you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All
You
right.
have a great day.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you
All
in a few
right.
minutes. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mhm.